Welcome to Citi Field for tonight's midweek clash between the 5-6 San Diego Padres and the 8-3 New York Mets. Padres won the opener of this series last night. Taking the hill for the New Yorkers tonight will be Bryce Miller. The rookie dominated in his first start, the second game of the season, shutting out the Marlins through 6 2/3, but struggled last time out when Milwaukee put 4 runs on him in 5 innings. So we'll see if he can bounce back against the Friars tonight. Digging in to lead off will be Adam Engel. And we are underway here at Citi Field with a foul ball, 87-mile-an-hour slider. Nice night here at Citi Field. You never know with mid-April in the northeastern part of the U.S. as Engel swings through a running fastball for strike 3. Weather can always be very hit or miss, but looks like we have an unseasonably warm night and a big crowd to boot. So excellent turnout here for an early season matchup between two teams that came into the season hoping to be World Series contenders and still probably are, as Jake Cronenworth swings through a slider. But the Padres aren't off to the start that they had hoped for, whereas the Mets have probably surpassed a lot of people's expectations by storming out of the gates. As Miller misses with a slurve just outside, tried to backdoor it. The count goes to 2-2 on Cronenworth, the Michigan product. He flies one to left. Adolis Garcia is there all the way to put that one away. As we take a look at the Padre lineup, Adam Engel, one of the only averages that really pops off the screen in a good way. A lot of ones pop off the screen in a bad way. Yeah, Fernando Tatis hitting 184, Juan Soto right around 200 as well. So certainly those have played a role in the Padres' struggles early so far in 2023. As Xander Bogaerts will step in, a new Padre as of this year. He'll fly the first pitch he sees to center. Chas McCormick is there all the way and puts it away easily. And Miller has a 1-2-3 top half of the first. We'll head to the bottom half with the score knotted at 0. Joe Musgrove will toe the rubber for the Padres tonight. Musgrove, one of San Diego's many highly paid players and highly talented players, but he's struggled so far this year, giving up 5 homers in only 10 innings and having a 7.20 ERA to tarnish his normally pristine stat line. So we'll see if he can kind of get his ducks in a row tonight against a New York offense that has hit all manner of pitchers well in the early going this season. Jeremy Pena will be our leadoff man. He comes in hitting 308. He'll take a strike and then a slurve outside. 2-2 is the count on Pena. Slurve goes high. 3-2 is the count. And another slurve misses outside, so 3 in a row there. Pena takes out of the zone once again, and he'll have a leadoff walk. First pitch to Edman is a ball outside. Tommy Edman comes in hitting 283. And he will take another ball outside, this one a cutter. So Musgrove struggling with his location in the early going here. We'll see if Edman's taken all the way. I have a hunch he might be. And he is. He takes a cutter for a called strike, so Musgrove finally finds the zone. 3-2 count. We'll see if Pena's in motion. He is. Strike 3 called to Edman. Thrown on seconds, not in time. So good pitch there by Musgrove in a situation where he needed it. But Pena does take advantage of the count and of his speed and gets himself into scoring position with a stolen base. Pete Alonso will stand in with the count 2-1. Fastball misses outside. Pete, of course, won the 2019 home run derby and seems to take all of his home run derby appearances quite seriously. This year so far, he's got 2 long balls, as Musgrove misses low and inside with a cutter, so Alonso takes a walk. The second of the inning for Musgrove. Cleanup hitter Francisco Alvarez will stand in. Alvarez making his Major League debut this season. Gotten off to a bit of a rocky start, only hitting .227, but a couple long balls to show for it, and Buck Showalter and company have full faith that any struggles are just part of the learning process and are not going to be something we see long term, as Alvarez swings through a sinker up in the zone, but well located for strike 3 and for out number 2 here in the bottom of the first. Will Smith will stand in. Smith is getting the designated hitter role tonight as Alvarez does the catching. They flip-flop with some regularity. And Smith is going to strike out on a cutter up. So the rally with the Mets head going, it fizzles quickly, and we head to the top of the second. Still deadlocked at 0. Fernando Tatis Jr. will stand in, as we alluded to when we looked at the lineups. Tatis has been one of the big sore spots for the Padre lineup in the early going, hitting only 184 in his return from a suspension. So certainly a polarizing player to many, and that play is not going to help things in the controversy department, that's for sure, as Tatis fouls away a 1-2 fastball. It looks at a beautiful slurve for called strike 3. Must have been sitting fastball there because he seemed completely frozen by the breaking pitch there. Good strikeout there for Miller, and first out of the inning for the Mets, as Manny Machado will stand in. And he swings through a slider. Another good pitch by Miller. He has certainly not been hesitant to work in plenty of breaking balls in the early going here. If I had to guess, I would say he's maybe thrown about 30% fastballs, and the rest have been either slurves or sliders, as he misses with a fastball inside to Nelson Cruz. Cruz lines one at the middle, but even without the normal shift of the past handful of years in place, the 2023 version of the shift plays it perfectly. Edman over to Alonso at first. And the Padres are out of the second. We head to the bottom of the second. Padres 0, Mets 0. Brett Beatty will stand in. Beatty looking for his first homer on the season here. Comes in hitting .222. Fouls away a fastball. 2-2 to Beatty is chopped up the middle. Tough play for Bogaerts, but he makes it well and gets Beatty by a half step. Strong charge and good throw over to first, just in the nick of time. So Beatty is retired, as Adolis Garcia stands in. Garcia takes a strike low, and then a slurve catches him way out in front. So Musgrove, we mentioned his struggles in the early going, has not really struggled much tonight. Had some location issues early, but when he has been in the strike zone, the Mets have hardly been able to even touch him, as Danny Mendick will stand in. Mendick takes a ball outside and then a slurve well located on the inside corner for strike 2. Cutter misses low and in. Gonna run the count full. Chas McCormick waiting on deck should Mendick reach. Mendick will not, as he swings through a cutter that looked like it was above the zone. So Musgrove is through his second inning with another handful of strikeouts. We head to the third, still tied at 0. Juan Soto will lead off, and the designated hitter will pop one up to Alonso on the first pitch he sees. Soto traded as part of a huge haul the Washington Nationals received from the San Diego Padres last year at a trade deadline deal. But even among all of these big long-term contracts that the Padres have handed out, Soto's has yet to be received. He has one more year where he'll receive arbitration, and then could be a free agent, could be heading back to San Diego for 10 more years. We don't know yet, as Luis Campusano grounds out to third for the second out of the inning. Rougned Odor will stand in. Odor, in his fourth team in as many years, takes fastball outside. Unfortunately for Odor, he's probably most known for delivering an incredible right hook to Jose Bautista when the two got in the dust-up at second base. And as punchful as he may have been in the past, Odor is punchless there as he swings through a slurve. Miller is through 3. And we head to the bottom of the third, still tied at 0. Chas McCormick will lead us off. McCormick has looked good for the Mets in his debut season with the New Yorkers, hitting .308 and playing a good center field. He's going to ground out to third, though, to lead off the inning. So McCormick is retired. Jeremy Pena will stand in, top of the order up for the Mets. This ball game is looking for its first hit. Neither side has been able to get on the hit column. The Mets have recorded a couple of walks, but otherwise, not much going on here. Pena strikes out on a nice slurve after taking a couple pitches out of the strike zone. So he is retired. Tommy Edman will stand in and take cutter way high. So the count is full. And he'll take a cutter low for ball 4. So Edman, I don't know if he's even swung the bat yet because he struck out looking in his first at-bat. And then he took 2 pitches there for a walk. So Pete Alonso will stand in, trying to get something going for the Mets. He'll swing through a low sinker. Good pitch there by Musgrove, dovetailing out of the zone. Cutter misses high. You see Bob Melvin signaling something into Luis Campusano. See if Edman is off on the pitch here. He might be. He is. And Alonso swings through it. I think Edman got a bad jump and looked like he might have been dead in the water. So Alonso might have turned that into a self-imposed hit and run. But regardless, the Mets are out of the third. We head to the fourth looking for some semblance of offense from someone. As the top of the order will lead off for the Padres. Adam Engel drops down a bunt. Let's see if Alvarez can make the play. He cannot. Engel runs really well and plays that beautifully, so we will see. With the way Bryce Miller was pitching in the early goings, it seemed that a perfection or a no-hitter could be in the cards, so we'll see if that ends up being of any kind of import as time goes on here. But Cronenworth will be retired as he pops up to third. Xander Bogaerts will stand in. Slider can't hold up. Moving the count to 1-2. And the 1-2 fastball is fly to left. Fairly decent, but no trouble for Garcia. He settles under it and, in fact, gets a running start, ensuring that Engel could not tag up from first. So Bogaerts is retired. 2-away here in the fourth. Fernando Tatis way out in front of a slurve. Not even close on that one. But does lay off of a slider that was a really good pitch, honestly, especially in a 1-2 count. So that brings the count to 2-2. Miller goes for the fastball, and Tatis skies it fairly deep to center, but McCormick has it all the way. Couple steps in front of the warning track, settles under it, makes the catch. And the Padres are retired here in the fourth. We head to the bottom of the fourth, still tied at 0. First pitch to Alvarez is a cutter that I think Musgrove would want back, but Alvarez did not make him pay. Late to swing on it and fouled it away. So hopefully the Mets will not miss another one of those if they get one, as Musgrove misses low and then misses inside with the sinker. Nearly hit Alvarez. He had to kind of moonwalk out of the way. So yet another full count for Musgrove here. And Alvarez will take a walk. That is the Mets' fourth on the afternoon. You gotta hope all these walks will pay off eventually, as Will Smith will stand in. Smith lines one to left field. That's a base hit, the Mets' first of the day, so they are on the board in the hit column, and the Mets are in business here in the bottom of the fourth with runners on first and second. Jumped on the first pitch he saw and squared it up pretty well, grounding it in between third and short for a base hit. Brett Beatty will stand in. He'll chop one to first, but foul. Musgrove already up to 75 pitches here in the bottom of the fourth. One positive of all these strikeouts is at least the Mets are causing him to throw deeper into counts than he otherwise would. Beatty fouls away another pitch. The 1-2 to Beatty, swing and a miss. Cutter was not located particularly well, but Beatty was just too early on it. And so Musgrove has a big first out of the fourth. And the Mets squander a chance to advance one or both of their runners as Adolis Garcia will stand in and take a strike low in the zone. Slurve misses outside, moving the count to 2-2. Cutter again misses outside. Just like Bryce Miller, Musgrove has not been shy about using his breaking pitches. So 3-2 is the count to Garcia here. Cutter, middle of the zone, a touch low, but was a strike, fouled away by Garcia. So we'll do it again. 3-2 misses inside. Not a bad cutter, but didn't have quite enough movement to catch the inner edge of the strike zone. So Musgrove has walked the second hitter of the inning and the fifth Met overall this afternoon. And we'll see if Danny Mendick can cash this promising inning in. As he grounds one to left, that's going to be past a diving Machado. That's going to get down into the corner. Extra bases for Mendick. All three runs are going to score. Huge hit there for the utility player from the Mets, who's been off to a great start this season. He homered in the Mets home opener and has just broken a 0-0 deadlock with a stroked double to left. Knuckle curve did not fool Danny, and the Mets take a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Chas McCormick will stand in. Take a curve outside and a slurve just on the corner. So the count is 2-2 against McCormick. Slurve misses outside as well. So we'll go full once again. Ball's chopped to third. Going to be a really tough play on the speedy McCormick. Machado tries it, but McCormick beats it out. It was kind of a swing and bunt. So that one will be scored a base hit, and kind of a bad luck result for the Padres there, as Musgrove induced some weak contact from McCormick, but his speed made all the difference in the world as he reaches. And that'll spell the end of the day for Mr. Musgrove. Pitch count was getting really high, and all of a sudden his dominance turns into an early exit. So Jay Groom will take over. Groom has a 4.63 ERA in 11.2 innings this season, so he's gotten a lot of work out of the San Diego bullpen. He'll come into a sticky situation here with runners on third and first and one out as Jeremy Pena stands in. Funky delivery from Groom. He's got a bit of a hitch. And like many lefties, for a lot of his delivery, it looks like he's about to throw the ball over to first. And then all of a sudden, the ball's rocketing to home plate. Pena takes a sinker low. It swings through a fastball that was way out of the zone. So, young Mets shortstop overzealous there. 2-2 is the count, and a fastball is blown right by Pena. Big out there for Groom. I'm sure the Mets would have been happy with, especially with Pena running well, with something that wasn't a hard-hit ground ball or a fly ball, but they don't get it. So we'll see if Tommy Edman can deliver. The runner on third. Groom misses inside with a curveball. And he'll miss low with a fastball. Groom relying much more on his movement and his deception with his delivery than any velocity. His fastball is only going to top out at right around 90 miles an hour. 3-1 pitch to Edman. Fastball right down the middle, and Edman had good contact, but it's no trouble at all for Adam Engel in center. He settles under it and makes the play. But Danny Mendick does deliver a big blow in the form of a 3-run double down the line. The Mets actually record 3 hits in the inning after having none coming into it, and now lead 3-0 heading to the 5th. Manny Machado will lead off the inning for the Padres and take a slurve on the outside corner. Good pitch there by Miller. He has been dotting up the strike zone with his breaking pitches so far. Slider is a bit hung, but Machado can only foul it off, so the count will stay at 1-2. And fastball is popped up. Alvarez is tracking it all the way and settles under it for the first out of the inning. Nelson Cruz will stand in with the 3-2 count. Cruz 0 for 1, like so many other Padres. But he's going to get on the board here with a bloop single to left. So slider, not a bad pitch. But Cruz did well to just get a piece of it, fight it into left field, and the KG veteran is aboard. Nelson Cruz playing on his 8th team in his 18-year career and is mashed at every single stop. Juan Soto will stand in. He's going to smoke one to right field, but it is foul. It's a home run if he keeps it fair, but instead it's a long strike, and the next pitch is a beautiful slurve on the inside corner. Rings up Soto. Down goes the Padres' designated hitter, and Miller gets a second out of the inning. Luis Campisano will stand in, look at a fastball on the inside corner. Good pitch by Miller. And another good pitch as Campisano swings over a slider. Miller pitches out of even just a smidge of trouble. And he's through 5 with the Mets leading 3-0. Pete Alonso will lead off the bottom of the 5th. Take a fastball outside. He finds himself in a good count here, 3-1. We'll see if he's swinging away. He is not, but mainly because the pitch was a ball. So Alonso will take his second walk of the day. Jay Groom will lead off the inning with a base on balls. And the Mets have yet another base runner. Francisco Alvarez will stand in. He'll take a pitch low. Padres have just been way too erratic so far from the mound. They're on their way to handing out potentially double-digit walks. As Groom finds himself down 3-1 in the count again. It's just not putting themselves in a position for success. Alvarez is swinging on 3-1. Cuts through a fastball, well located. So payoff pitch. Alonso is not in motion here. Alvarez laces one up the middle, base hit. Let's see if Alonso's going to test the arm of Adam Engel. He is. He's going to third. Alvarez is going to take second, too, as the throw comes into third. So good heads-up base running by the Mets there, as everyone is safe. And the New Yorkers have third and second here with nobody out, as Will Smith will stand in. Smith got everything started with a base hit last inning. Smith flies this one to right, fairly deep, but Tatis is tagging up. He has a huge arm, and oh my goodness, what a throw. Alonso is completely toast. Incredible throw by Tatis there. Let's take another look at that one. It was pretty deep, but the right fielder had time to get under it, set his feet, get a little forward momentum, and he threw nearly 103 miles an hour from right field to get Alonso by 2 or 3 steps. So great throw there, impressive play. And all of a sudden, Mets have 2 outs and a runner on third here as Brett Beatty stands in. Trying to cash in at least one of these runs. Foul away the first pitch he sees, and then he is way late on a well-located sinker. So Beatty strikes out, and the Mets squander. Ducks on the pond with nobody out. And we head to the 6th. The score still 3-0 New York Mets. First pitch to Odor is going to be chopped up the middle off of Miller. And great play over there by Beatty at third to track it down. So that one is going to go down as a 1-5-3. And now let's just hope that Miller's okay. didn't appear to be an absolute rocket. That doesn't make it, you know, hurt any less right now, but still probably fortunate that wasn't one of those balls that's 110 miles an hour off the bat. So Odor's retired, and Adam Engel will stand in. Engel, much to the chagrin of all the patrons here in New York, broke up a perfect game with a bunt single his last time up. This time up, no such dramatics. He's going to lace one down the left field line. Garcia does a good job to cut it off and hold Engel, who runs really well, to just a single. But he's got his second hit of the afternoon. And with one out, Jake Cronenworth will step in. Cronenworth 0 for 2 on the day and swings through a fastball. Has never really looked comfortable in the batter's box so far tonight. Let's hope Miller can keep that statement true. He fouls away another pitch. 1-2 again, fouled away again. If nothing, he is consistent. Slider low. So good at bat here for the first baseman as he takes a fastball inside. So Miller is faced with a 3-2 count, which he has had only once or twice so far tonight. Blows a fastball by Miller. Some good run on that one. Excellent movement. And a big out there for the Mets starter to get. As Bogarts will stand in and swing through a slurve. So he's down 1-2 in the count. And the slider gets him as well. Masterful pitching by Bryce Miller there. And the one-out single is spoiled. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Your New York Mets still lead 3-0. Adolis Garcia will stand in and take a called third strike. Well-located fastball low in the zone. As we see Trevor Rosenthal and Sam Henches start warming up in the New York pen. Danny Mendick will step in. Mendick, the hero of the night so far, cleared the bases with a double his last time up in the fourth. But he's no match for Groom here as he swings through a slider. And the Mets have their second out of the inning recorded. Chas McCormick will try to keep things alive, and he will, lacing a ball up the middle. McCormick has shown a penchant for taking off when he reaches base so far this year, so we'll see if he gives it a go. He's off, and before... Oh, wow. So McCormick took off before Groom even delivered the pitch, so Groom stepped off, but McCormick was able to scramble back to first in time. So the inning lives on. McCormick is not out yet, and oh man, he's got to be safe. McCormick does take off, and he is into second with a steal. Groom has such a deliberate delivery. He is not quick to the plate. So Pena takes a sinker inside. McCormick takes second, and the Mets have a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs in the bottom of the sixth. Fastball misses inside as well, so Pena's got a good hitter's count here if he wants to try and square something up. Fastball inside. Pena was swinging all the way, pretty much right on the black, so great location, and he swung through it. So 3-2 is the count. Pena lines one to right. Tatis has a beat on it, and he's there. Pena did hit it well, but Tatis reacted quickly and put it away without too much trouble. So the Mets are retired here in the sixth. We'll head to the seventh. 3-0 Mets is still your score. Tatis will take a slider outside to lead off here the seventh, and then line a fastball to right, but no trouble there.
The third baseman, number 13.
The Mets put that one away. And we have one out here in the seventh. Swing and a miss for Manny Machado for the second out of the seventh. Miller has been painting corners all day. Truly masterful performance, and I imagine this will probably be the last batter that he sees as his pitch count reaches the 110s. Nelson Cruz going to smoke one to right. That one's going to get over the head of Beatty. I think earlier I said Beatty was playing third, so that's my mistake. Going to be a close play at second. Cannot get him there. So Nelson Cruz showing off a little bit of speed with his first double of the season. His second hit of the day. And it's interesting. Adam Engel and Nelson Cruz have been able to touch Miller twice for hits, whereas pretty much every other Padre has looked befuddled. So it looks like Buck Showalter is going to try and let Miller finish this inning out, and good on him, and good on all of us, as grounder to second is handled on the first pitch that Juan Soto sees. So Miller is out of the seventh. It's stretch time here in Queens.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Mets still lead 3-0.
now pitching for San Diego, number 74, Nabil Christmas.
So you got to assume Bryce Miller's day is done, and what a day it was. Truly impressive performance. Kept the Padres off balance all day as Edman swings through the first pitch he sees. We do have a new reliever in for the Padres. Nabil Christmas will step onto the rubber and strike out Tommy Edman. Christmas does have an ERA under 2 and a 1-0 record in 4 2/3 innings so far this season, so he has pitched well as Pete Alonso fouls away a sinker. Ton of break on that curveball as we see Brent Honeywell Jr. and Tim Hill getting loose in the Padre bullpen. That curveball was more like an 18-4 than a 12-6. I mean, that has an incredible sweep to it. As Alonso takes a changeup outside, moving the count full, we'll see if Pete can work his third walk of the day. He cannot as he swings through a fastball. So the Mets still having a hard time making any sort of contact, but they've been able to get on base a good amount between 5 hits and 7 walks. No shortage of those, as Alvarez will take low. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Alvarez pops one to third. Looks like Machado will have room. And the ball comes back into fair territory. Gives Machado a bit of a tough break there, but he handles it well. So we head to the 8th, still leading 3-0. And I spoke too soon because it looks like Bryce Miller might get one more hitter, actually. I'm very surprised by this decision by Buck Showalter. Not sure why you wouldn't just call it a day after the 7th with his pitch count so high, and with him having thrown a clean inning, give your reliever a clean slate to start the inning. But that's why I'm up here and Showalter's in the dugout. Campisano's going to foul off each of the first 3 pitches he sees. So the count stays at 2-2. Fastball inside, line down the left field line, past the Mets infield. Adolis Garcia is going to track it down and prevent any sort of hijinks from occurring there in the way of the runner getting to second. But the Padres have their leadoff man on here in the 8th. And it is officially the end of Bryce, not Shelby Miller. Bryce Miller's day. Masterful performance by the rookie. And he'll give way to Sam Hentges. Hentges misses with a sinker inside to start his at-bat against Rougned Odor. So the count is 3-1 there. Odor is going to get sawed off. And Hentges handles it well, makes the play. Kind of a little pop-up that was falling quickly. And Hentges not only had to deal with that, but also with a helicoptering bat fragment. But did well to handle both and put Odor away. So 1 out here in the top of the 8th. As the Padres will turn over their order and Adam Engel will stand in. Engel has made the Mets pay with 2 different hits today, but he will not get a hit here as he pops one up to second. Edman handles it well and puts that one away for the second out of the 8th. And Jake Cronenworth will stand in. Lefty on lefty matchup here. You know, that's what the Mets were looking for and hoping for when they brought in Hentges. But Cronenworth will cash in on a little bloop. That one falls. And the Padres are in business here in the top of the 8th. So runners on first and second. Mendick dove but couldn't quite track it down. And Xander Bogaerts will stand in. And it looks like the Mets are going to go with Trevor Rosenthal. Rosenthal has a 4.2 innings of scoreless baseball to his credit so far this year. And I think Buck Showalter didn't want to mess around with Xander Bogaerts' history of success against lefties and the fact that he represents a tying run. So Campisano at second, Cronenworth at first as Rosenthal misses with a fastball inside. We'll see what he goes with here on a 3-1 count. Circle change, good pitch. Bogaerts fouls it away. So the 3-2 here, runners will be in motion. Swing and a miss. 100 miles an hour, just blew it right by Bogaerts. So big out there for Rosenthal. And we head to the bottom of the 8th. Your score is still 3-0 Mets. Will Smith will lead off the bottom of the 8th and foul away a slurve from yet another new Padre reliever, this one Brent Honeywell Jr. Brent has thrown 2 innings of scoreless baseball so far this year, and he starts his inning with yet another strikeout. So Will Smith is down on strikes. And he'll give way to Brett Beatty. Beatty's going to foul away a changeup. Moving the count to 1-2. And after another foul ball, Beatty's going to pop one up. No problem for Odor at second. He puts it away. And quickly, Honeywell Jr. has 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Adolis Garcia trying to keep the Mets alive. We'll take a slurve outside. Garcia hitting only 129, so the Mets really can hope he can get going. He did hit a homer on opening day and has homered once again since, but not much else to show for his at-bats, and sure enough, he looks completely overmatched there. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It was in the glove before he even started to swing, it looked like. So Garcia is retired, the Mets are retired, and we head to the top of the 9th with the score still 3-0 New Yorkers. Looks like Rosenthal will stay on the mound to try and complete kind of an elongated multi-inning 4-out save here. He's going to issue a walk to Tatis to lead off, but Machado's going to ground the first pitch he sees to second. Edman handles it well, flips over to Pena, Pena onto Alonso, and all of a sudden, the Padres are down to their last out. Nelson Cruz, 2 for 3 on the day, is the final hope for the Friars. He's going to foul away a 1-2 fastball. Keep the Padres alive for at least one more pitch. But only one more pitch as the slider freezes Cruz. That's your ball game. Excellent pitching performance by the Mets here between Bryce Miller, Sam Hedges, and Trevor Rosenthal out of the pen. Big 3-run double by Danny Mendick proves the difference. And the Mets get their first win in this series and their National League leading 9th win on the season as they move to 9-3. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again soon. Have a beautiful evening.
The final line score for our ball game tonight. For the victorious New York Mets, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They left 7 men on base. For the Padres.